Alright guys, it's your boy. I'm here with that fucking MySQL InnoDB database tutorial. First thing you're gonna need is the MySQL installer from this website right here. You also need to download Python. I'll be doing that live right fucking now.
There's so many things that I keep in my mind, like the past. There's a reason why all the emotions I built up inside you. Can get away with it. No, 'cause I'm feeling so
Alright, so right here, you're gonna put in the port number that you want the server to run on. Typically, I go with server computer for this whatever this is. So that's what I do. Now, right here, cut the bullshit. Cut the fucking bullshit. If you have a plugin that needs to connect to this server that doesn't have the encrypted password authentication, it would be called SH2 password authentication. If it doesn't have that support for your plugin will not be able to connect. So what you have to do is use the legacy authentication method, and this is going to be the standard, you know, your fucking older plugins, the plugins that don't have that authentication. That's what you want to do. If you don't click this motherfucker, if you don't click it, you're going to have to reinstall this bitch and delete all the files that came with it. And it's like 15 files. Suck a dick. Hit next. Set your password, 1234. Add user. Alright, Windows service name. My long balls. And then, you know, just keep clicking shit. Okay, so right now, don't click that yet. We haven't set up the InnoDB cluster. You can't use this right now, so don't check it. Finish. Alrighty. Alright, and this is... Bang! We're in it. Okay, so here's the important part. You see this SQL we just set up, this server? It's on port 3306. Whatever you set your port on needs to be one of these clusters ports. So let's go back to the top. Boom, we need one of these to be 3306. And I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 07. Alright, so this is the biggest important thing right here. Whatever your server is here, your router, it needs to be that number, and also it has to be one of the numbers that you created. So in my instance, it's 3306. That's going to be our main, or our host, so we're going to go do that, then we're going to create the cluster. And you can rename the cluster to whatever you'd like. Just understand, if you change it from devCluster, you have to be able to target it with a different command. So we're going to go to test, and we're going to hit enter on that. In order to use this command, we have to use a different command now because we changed the name. So var cluster equals yada yada yada, that one. Hit enter, and you have to run cluster.status because we changed the name. As you can see, the primary is 3306, exactly what we wanted it to be, 3306. And we're going to go back here. We're going to add instances to that cluster, or to our group there, and make sure it's the ones that you already opened up. In my case, I opened up 3306, 3307, 3308. Pretty simple. And this is where you choose your recovery method. You can pause the video right here, figure out what you need. I'm gonna go clone. And then right here, this is the other one. We've got to do this again for the other one. Okay, and then make sure, like I'm saying, it lines up. Okay, so I had 3306, 3307, 3308. That's the one it is. Alright. I'm going to clone again. Alright, now we're going to check the status of it using that command. And as you can see, cluster is online and can tolerate up to 1 failure. That means it's a success. Also, the primary is 3306, exactly what we wanted it to be. 3307's there, 3308's there. Okay, and now we can do \Q to escape that. And the next step is to actually rerun the installer. And the reason why we're doing this is to set up the router so external things can connect to this database. So we're going to reconfigure the router, click the bootstrap MySQL. The host name would be whatever is before the port number. That's localhost. In this instance, localhost. Port 3306. Manage a root. In this case, my password is 1234. And then you test the connection. If it's good, if you get this check mark, that means you've done everything right. So if these ports are to connect to our database, whatever one of these ones you want to use, understand that if you use 6447, it's read-only. You guys can read, but I like to use 6446 because that's read-write. Execute and finish. And that right there is how you set up the MySQL database with a router attached to it. So you could connect to this database by, or in my particular instance, by going localhost, like localhost, then that port number 6446. Whatever one you want to use from that list of the router, there it is. Alrighty.